Pick 1212. Copy here. Got you loud and clear. Green, rolling fine.
The Performance Motorsports Network presents Burning Rubber Radio.
Burning rubber, baby.
I know what the tradition is. You don't even have to explain it. And here it is. Burning rubber, baby!
Now, from the White Lightning TV studios in Statesville, North Carolina, here is your host, Andy DeLay.
Burning rubber, baby. It's that time again. Burning Rubber Radio is on the air. I'm your host, Andy DeLay, and you are listening to the fastest 60 minutes in motorsports. Oh my gosh, another week, another winner, two-time winner, excuse me. I should say our first two-time winner. We'll be talking about that. William Byron gets it done at Phoenix. And of course, Burning Rubber Radio was brought to you by... Who was it brought to you by, Wayne?
Monster 3X.
Yes, Monster 3X.
Three Wex? 3Wex? What?
Monster 3X concept lures, used by our very own Captain Jeff Vickers out of Dunedin, Florida, folks. The Monster 3X, thanks for being on board Burning Rubber Radio. And of course, Drive Refine. Yep. It's more than driver coaching. It's Drive Refine. Yes, that's a NASCAR driver, Joey Coulter. I can say NASCAR driver because he's driving in the Wheeling Series right now, Wayne.
Yes, he is. And then on top of that, cannot forget our wonderful folks over at iRacing. And don't forget, folks, if you're when you listen to the Wing Ding version of the show here in just a couple of days, go check out the eNASCAR iRacing Coca-Cola Series. Airs on every other Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on youtube.com/iRacing, twitch.tv/iRacing, and all of iRacing's other streaming services. So,
yeah, good stuff, bud.
Yeah, big stuff this weekend.
I got to tell you something, man.
What you got?
You ready, buddy? Everyone out there's going to love this, man. My toilet started bubbling on me last week. Oh, my
God.
Yeah, man, I got off and I said, man, this thing's getting mad at me. Now, I'm serious. Folks are like, what? No, serious. I'm like, my toilet started bubbling. Well, guess what, folks? My drain field for my septic tank took a dump like I did. So
well, I was going to say, after all of John's good cooking, it's no surprise your drain field went bad.
I've been laying the smackdown on that septic tank, bro. So anyway, you know why I say this? Because I called the folks out at Mullen Septic and Drain Field Service here in Clearwater, Florida. Folks, if you're listening to us in the Tampa Bay area, if you have any problem in the Tampa Bay area with anything for your drain field, for septic, you need to get the nasty thing pumped out, call Mullen Septic and Drain Field Service. In fact, if you have a pen, or you can see this on YouTube if you missed the number, or wingding.tv, 813-323-2399. That's 813-323-2399.
Now,
and tell them Burning Rubber Radio sent you.
Now, I was going to say, for those of us that are a little slow at writing here, I'm writing it down, 813-323. What's those last four again?
Man, what are you asking me that for? All right, here we go. 323-2399.
All right, folks, and that is McMullen Septic and Drain Field down there in the Clearwater, Tampa Bay area. Make sure you give them a call and get work done on your house as needed for your septic system and your drain field.
Yeah, that's right, man.
And
keep your toilet happy.
Yeah, do what Andy didn't do.
Anyway, man, let's talk racing.
Yeah, we got to talk some racing here. But first, we got to go talk to our sponsors here. And with that, we're going to step aside. We're going to take our first foreign fuel. And when we come back, we're going to be talking some news of the week, including that two-time winner in Willie B.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Want to maximize your driving potential? Drive Refine is the driver optimization program for you. Led by NASCAR winning driver Joey Coulter. No matter if you race locally, nationally, or on a simulator, with a little or a lot of experience, Drive Refine focuses on your tuning scale to optimize communication between the driver and their crew chief. Visit driverefine.com for more information today.
Hey, this is former NASCAR driver Joey Coulter. This isn't your typical driver coaching. This is Drive Refine.
I'm Andy DeLay, and you're listening to Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Motorsports sales professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com.
Tire Rack was established over 40 years ago with a product line that fulfills the tire, wheel, suspension, and brake needs of enthusiasts and their friends for both the track and the road. As official tire retailer of SCCA and title sponsor of the SCCA National Solo Program, Time Trials National Tour, and Time Trials Nationals, TireRack.com, America's leading high-performance tire and wheel source, is able to showcase a broad range of new products in suspension, brakes, and accessories while supporting the grassroots motorsports enthusiasts.
Burning Rubber Radio is social. Like the show at Facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Follow on Twitter at Twitter.com/BRR_PMN. And on Instagram at Instagram.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Now back to more Burning Rubber.
And we are back on Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network, the Tan Talk Radio Network. Andy, wake up! Oh, there we go. I was going to say, did the septic system already go bad on you again? Did you have to?
Man, I was sitting here texting folks over there at Mullins, so you better be listening Saturday.
There we go. All right. Well, with that said, here, folks, we got to get into some news of the week here, and we'd be remiss if we didn't get into it here. 2 weeks in a row, Vegas and Phoenix to close out the West Coast swing here. Willie B gets himself a win. Harvick comes up just short this past weekend at Phoenix. And not to mention, Kyle Larson is also a bridesmaid again this week.
Oh, poor Kyle Larson. Let me tell you what, Hendrick Motorsports is, I'm sure folks have heard by now that NASCAR came in and swiped all of their louvers off of underneath their hood. And they're up at NASCAR R&D. We record, of course, on Tuesday. So you may have heard that NASCAR has announced fines for against Hendrick Motorsports. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's coming. Jeff Gordon quotes, who was one of their HMFICs over there. He says that, quote, "We are very concerned." All 4 cars had the louvers taken off of them. And NASCAR, ain't playing right now. So God only knows.
Yeah, God only knows what's going to happen with that there, because, I mean, we saw it last year where if it wasn't one of those single-source supplied parts, NASCAR laid the smack down when it came to penalties. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But either way, good on Willie B for getting a win again this week, Andy. Oh, and something else I wanted to get into here. This was actually a topic that was brought up on Heels on Wheels this past Wednesday night on the Performance Motorsports Network, is that back at the Rolex 24 Daytona, you know how we were talking about Meyershank Racing being the pretty much top dog now 3 years in a row when it comes to the Rolex 24?
That's right.
So it was found, and I don't know how it was confirmed, but somehow it was confirmed that the Meyershank Racing entry that had the shank half of Meyershank in there was illegally sending air pressure data as far as the tires go to IMSA. And because of that, because they were found in violation of the rule set there and the manipulation of data, they lost pretty much all but the win. They lost all the driver points from that race. They lost all of their Michelin Pilot Challenge points for the rest of the season. They lost $50,000 in penalty fines. And then also Shank is also on not suspension, but he's on probation until June. And the engineer for Meyer Shank Racing had his credential yanked and indefinitely suspended.
Well, someone's going to be looking for a job.
Yeah, somebody got more.
That's crazy.
Somebody got more than their hands slapped when it come to that one.
Oh yeah, buddy. Oh man. You shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. You cheat, you get caught. On my Burning Rubber Racing report, that's a 2-minute report that goes out, syndicated all over the U.S. Anyway, I was talking about cheating, Jeff Gordon's concern, but, they don't have to worry. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because they employ Chad Canas. He can cheat up anything and get away with it, man.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, Chad knows how to work up a race car pretty well to be just within the rules, but yet outside the rules at the same time. So,
man, Chad Canas is probably one of the best there is on top of the box, as far as NASCAR goes history-wise right now. Of course, he's the director of competition for Hendrick Motorsports, I do believe now.
Yeah.
Him and Jeff are the dynamic duo again.
Yep.
Well,
technically the dynamic duo was him and Jimmy, but that's
right. Yeah.
But either way, it's the fact is Hendrick is as Hendrick does.
Talking about Jimmy Johnson, he just announced 2 more dates.
Yes,
he's going to be running COTA, the Circuit of the America, here at the end of this month, and of course he's going to. We already knew that he was running at Chicago because he's got that body armor company. I'm kidding. Anyway, no, he's going to be running at Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600 here in May.
So that's some good stuff, actually. It really is to see Jimmy, because originally it was only 6 dates, now he's up to 8 dates. So
yeah, they said 6 dates. What dates? The only thing we really know is Chicago. But we knew, whatever, man.
We knew Daytona, we knew Chicago, and we knew. I think there was one more, but it's escaping me as to which one that third date was that we knew of. So now we're officially up to 5 out of the 6 dates, and then so now there's one more left to be announced, more or less. And honestly, between you and me, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him call in a few more dates on top of that.
I agree, because right now it's a 1-car team over there, and this will. No, wait a second, they're a 2-car team.
Yeah, 2-car.
I don't know. Yeah, the 2-car team. With him out there, it'll be a 3-car team. Legacy, it's not Motorsports.
No, Legacy Auto Club.
Auto Club, that's it over there. Legacy Auto Club. So,
and no, even with him out there, it's only a 2-car team because you got him and Eric Jones.
I swore there was a 3rd car in Legacy.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
That's right. Eric Jones is in the 43, isn't he?
Yep, he's in the 43, and Jimmy's in the 84. So
that's correct. Yep.
And then one last note we're going to touch on here real quick before we head to break. Moving over to the Xfinity Series here, Andy. And you know what? We talked about this kid in the offseason, Sammy Smith. He did it again and got himself a win this past weekend at Phoenix. Yeah,
the 18-year-old high school senior Sammy Smith gets it done in the Xfinity Series race. Coach Gibbs got his 16th win at Phoenix with that win there, combined between Cup and Xfinity. I don't think he has any truck wins there.
No.
But anyway, that's good stuff. Sammy Smith, you're going to hear about this kid for a long time.
Yes, you are. You are going to hear about Sammy Smith for a while. Now, what would have been ironic? He had the double-double here, and the reason I say double-double, because you had the 18-year-old in the number 18 for Joe Gibbs Racing. What would have been even more ironic is had it been win number 18.
That would have been something else. Talking about Joe Gibbs Racing, I know that Kyle Busch isn't with him anymore, but made me think. Didn't Kyle say that he was retiring from the Xfinity Series last year?
He said he was, but he's coming back with Colleague.
Yeah, I'm saying he just ran the dang race with Colleague Racing. So So much for retiring. It's kind of like a singer or rock band. They retire 1 year and then they're back the next.
Well, I mean, look at your boy Sammy Hagar. I mean, he's been in and out so many times it's not even funny.
Bro, Sammy Hagar can still sing at 6 years old?
77, I think.
77. I can't drive 55, baby.
Well, we know you don't drive 55, especially when you're on duty.
yeah, right.
Oh, man, good stuff all the way around here, folks. Well, with that said, here we're going to step aside. We're going to get ourselves over to our next foreign fuel. But when we come back here, Andy, you know what? A topic I'm going to bring up and I want to talk about for a little bit here is John Force, our good buddy, getting inducted into the Drag Racing Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about it when we come back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Want to maximize your driving potential? Drive Refine as the driver optimization program for you. Led by NASCAR winning driver Joey Coulter. No matter if you race locally, nationally, or on a simulator, with a little or a lot of experience, Drive Refine focuses on your tuning scale to optimize communication between the driver and their crew chief. Visit driverefine.com for more information today.
Hey, this is former NASCAR driver Joey Coulter. This isn't your typical driver coaching. This is Drive Refine.
I'm Captain Jeff Figures from Florida Fishing and Adventures. Do you want to constantly catch more fish, spend less time changing baits? If so, Monster 3X baits, jigs, and scents are the answer. Monster 3X baits are tough, durable, and resistant, which allows you to catch more fish per bait. The combination of the Monster 3X lure with the Pro Pure Bait Super Scent, you will be landing more fish right away. Whether it's the Monster 3X Ultra Soft or the X Swim lures, swim shad, paddle tails, crawfish, or the X Frog. Monster 3X, you'll always find it in my tackle box.
Hi, this is Larry McReynolds with NASCAR on Fox. You're listening to Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speed, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444. We are the Performance Motorsports Network, and incredible sales opportunities exist. If you have a business in the motorsports industry, give our sales department a call, 717-749-0444, or send us an email. We'll have an account representative get in touch with you immediately to show how we can market your business to the motorsports community.
Visit our website at burningrubberradio.com for recipes from the NASCAR chef, John Dix, and more great content. Now back to more Burning Rubber Radio.
And we are back on Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network and the Tan Talk Radio Network, wingding.tv, and can't forget our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Burning Rubber Radio. And Andy, I figured this was the perfect news story to talk about here. coming into the feature spot for the week because it's a longtime friend of the show. We've had him on multiple times throughout our 15 years on the air, and that being John Force. And this past weekend, Thursday night actually, just before the Gator Nationals down in Gainesville, Florida, John Force was officially inducted into the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir. John Force. I love that guy. Of course, if you're into racing at all, heck, you don't even have to be into racing to have heard of John Force.
Yep.
And the only guy I know that can conduct an interview by himself, with himself.
Pretty much.
No, so I'm just playing, man. Serious, John. We love you here at Burning Rubber Radio, and we got to get him back on this year, brother.
We do, yeah. And all things considered, seeing as the NHRA season is officially back in full swing here, Andy. Honestly, the Force Racing stable didn't do too bad. Brittany Force got herself back on pole position for the Gator Nationals this past weekend. Matt Hagan snagged another Gator Nationals win. Matt Salinas stunned in Top Fuel, and then let me see where. Actually, no, because Brittany races in Top Fuel. So let me see where. Fuel. Let's see. Troy Coughlin got himself a win in Pro Stock, and Gage Herrera in Pro Stock Motorcycle. Now, that's actually a new name to the NHRA family. I'm not familiar with him.
No, me either.
So that'll be a new one there. Let's see where.
Hey, did Smoke run this weekend at Top What is it? Alcohol that he runs?
Top Alcohol Dragster. No, he wasn't running this weekend. And let's see here. So looking here at Brittany Force. So Salinas was determined to improve upon the run in 2020 for his run in 2023. Impressed throughout, eliminating, beating, who is it here? Justin Ashley, defending world champion Brittany Force, and Leah Pruitt to reach the final. So so Salinas going on to the win eliminated Force and Leah Pruitt.
Oh, Leah Pruitt, of course, is Tony Stewart's new wife, or not new. They've been married over a year.
Yeah, they've been married well over a year. And with his run, too, as far as his final run win, a 3.669 second run.
I just can't fathom that. You know, the first time I saw these Top Fuel folks run was at Charlotte Four Wides. It's been 10, 12 years anyway. We were up in the media center there behind the start-finish line. The first time I saw them, the green light go and how fast they accelerated blew my mind.
Oh, yeah. They are every bit of 0 to 360 in 1.5 seconds.
Isn't that nuts? How can that? The acceleration G's must be extreme, crazy, man.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think we asked John that same question when we had him on a couple of years ago, where, you know, what is the average amount of G-forces that you feel inside of the race car? And if I remember correctly, he said that it's equivalent to that of the space shuttle taking off, which in theory, that the amount of G's there is anywhere between 14 and 20 G's.
Yeah, for a blink of an eye. Yeah, that's crazy, man. But anyway,
well, I mean, it's enough, and the only reason I bring that up as far as the amount of G's, as far as what's being felt, they actually have, or I don't know if they still have it anymore. Speaking of Florida, Disney World actually had a simulation back. What was it? I'd say 17 years ago. Now I don't know if they still have it there or not, where you could actually get in and experience the G-forces of a space shuttle takeoff.
Wow.
And I sat in there, and the amount of G-forces, which they even tell you, it's roughly about 15, 16 Gs, while you're sitting in there with the takeoff, you literally cannot move in a single muscle. Your body is it's like your body is glued to the seat you're sitting in.
Man, it must have been extreme for you, man. All that fat going around the seat.
So actually, it made me skinny for 5 seconds.
Oh, I love it, man. Oh my gosh. You know, if they put me in a Top Fuel dragster, you have to call those Mullen septic folks to come pump the car out. Time we got down, if I made it to the start finish,
I was going to say a Top Fuel dragster is the least of your worries. All you got to do is go hop back in another NASCAR.
Yeah, right. Oh, God. Man, what is this? 2009? That's now 2023. You can't let one little wreck go away.
Well, see, I give you credit because you didn't actually hit the wall. All you did was hit your shorts.
Yeah, whatever, man. I blew up Kyle Busch's car. I will say that much.
Who was it? Scotty Alves was the guy we were working with down there at Hillenburg's Fast Track School. Yep. Yeah. And I remember the look on Scotty's face because I was standing down there when you spun. He's just like, "Oh my God."
After I figured out that I wasn't going to die, because I thought there for a few minutes that I was done.
Mm-hmm.
Try spinning at 170 miles an hour. Right there at the start-finish line at Charlotte.
Yep, right there at the tri-oval, yep.
Then when I got done with that, I'm in the infield. I'm like, oh, crap. Andy Hillenburg is going to kill me. I just blew up one of his race cars. And nonetheless, Kyle Busch's race car. Oh.
Yep. You know what? Now that I think about that, next time I see Samantha and Braxton at Mountain Creek or Millbridge, or if I see Kyle there, I'm gonna joke about that with him for a minute and see what his reaction would be.
Why don't you not do that? Memories, buddy.
Yep, good memories too. But with that said here, folks, we've got to step aside. We've got to take our next foreign fuel. And when we come back, Andy, you know what it's time for, brother?
Man, it's time to eat because I'm hungry.
Yes, sir. The NASCAR Chef when we come back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Want to maximize your driving potential? Drive Refine as the driver optimization program for you. Led by NASCAR winning driver Joey Coulter. No matter if you race locally, nationally, or on a simulator, with a little or a lot of experience, Drive Refine focuses on your tuning scale to optimize communication between the driver and their crew chief. Visit driverefine.com for more information today.
Hey, this is former NASCAR driver Joey Coulter. This isn't your typical driver coaching. This is Drive Refine.
I'm Captain Jeff Figures from Florida Fishing and Adventures. Do you want to constantly catch more fish, spend less time changing baits? If so, Monster 3X baits, jigs, and scents are the answer. Monster 3X baits are tough, durable, and resistant, which allows you to catch more fish per bait. The combination of the Monster 3X lure with the Pro-Cure Baits Super Scent, you will be landing more fish right away. Whether it's the Monster 3X Ultra Soft or the X Swim lures, swim shad, paddle tails, crawfish, or the X Frog. Monster 3X, you'll always find it in my tackle box.
This is race car driver Kenny Wallace, driver of the number 36 Jegs Dirt Modified. And you're burning rubber, baby, on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Do you love the sound of high revving motors and the smell of burning rubber? Do you want to get your car sideways right at the ragged edge of control? If you've always wanted to try drifting or learn to improve your drifting skills, Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier motorsports facility, has the expert instructors and the specialized track to teach you how to drift and the skills necessary to drift competitively. From skid pad to open sessions, Summit Point Motorsports Park has the safe and open environment that allows drifters of all skill levels, new to intermediate, to get sideways and smoking. With a focus on safety and the skill set necessary to drift competitively, Summit Point Motorsports Park's Drift Nirvana is just the thing for you. Call for your reservation today, 304-725-8444. Or for more information, go online, summitpoint-raceway.com, or you can email them at office@bsrinc.com. Drift Nirvana, getting you sideways the right way. We are the Performance Motorsports Network, and incredible sales opportunities exist. If you have a business in the motorsports industry, give our sales department a call, 717-749-0444, or send us an email. We'll have an account representative get in touch with you immediately to show how we can market your business to the motorsports community.
This is Burning Rubber Radio. Now let's get cooking in the kitchen with the NASCAR chef, John Dix.
And we are back on Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network, Tan Talk Radio Network, wingding.tv. And Andy, you know what time it is.
Buddy, when it's time for the NASCAR chef, it's time to eat, baby.
Yeah, it is. John Dix, are you there, brother?
Hey guys, burning rubber, baby.
Burning rubber,
Burning rubber, baby.
All right, so John, I do believe if I look back at the recipe for this week here, you pulled out an oldie but a goodie that we had a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Wayne, I did a little twist to it.
Oh.
This is if you look at the recipe close, you'll see there's no eggs in it.
You know what? I totally did not notice that.
Yeah, this is a breakfast casserole for folks who are allergic to eggs or just don't like eggs.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man, that's different.
All right,
Yeah.
well, hit us with it, brother.
Okay, we're going to start with 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. Now, if you don't like cream of mushroom, you can use cream of chicken, cream of celery. You know, those other kind will work good. 1 cup of milk, 32 ounces of hash browns. You can buy the bags of the pre-made hash browns and just make sure they're defrosted. 2 pounds of smoked sausage. You want to dice them up. 1 small onion, yellow or white. The recipe calls for yellow. I like a white onion. That's my preference. Again, you want to dice that up. 2 cups of grated cheddar cheese. A half a cup of thyme and parsley. Then you want to get some seasoning to taste. Okay, gang? In a saucepan, you want to simmer the milk and the soup for about 3 to 4 minutes until it gets warm. In your slow cooker, you want to place the hash browns, the sausage, the onions, and half of the cheese, which would be about a cup of the cheese. Then pour on top of the, in the slow cooker, on top of everything, your warm mixture of your soup and your seasonings. Mix them up real well. Sprinkle in the other cup of cheese, which is the rest of your cheese, and your herbs. Cover it, and then cook it for about 3 hours. Gang, it's that simple. It makes a wonderful, wonderful breakfast for the weekends. It's still a little cold somewhere. Here in Alabama, it's been in the 30s.
Or here in North Carolina in the 20s.
Yeah, I know you guys have been cold up there too. But and this is something for, like I said, the people who aren't, really don't like eggs or allergic to eggs.
So if I'm reading that recipe right, then technically the change is using hash browns instead of eggs. Is that right?
Well, no, it's just using no eggs.
Ah, well. Who knew you could get a breakfast casserole to hold together with no eggs?
Yeah, the mushroom, the soup, the cream of mushroom or celery or onion, whatever, the soup is kind of what holds it together.
Gotcha.
That'd be worth trying, man. I'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some good stuff right now. Everybody's busy. They're trying to, get things done, get up early in the morning, throw that on, lay back down for a little while, and you'll have a good breakfast for everybody.
Very cool stuff. Well, of course, again, folks, anytime you want to hold these recipes here, we're still working on the cookbook here. We're about a season and a half in now almost to getting a cookbook built together for the NASCAR chef. But if you want these recipes individually, all you got to do is shoot us an email at mail@brr.show. Head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Request them there. Or you can also get a hold of the NASCAR chef directly at Racing to the Grill. That's RACING, the number 2, thegrill@gmail.com. And, John, we can't end the segment without those 3 famous words, brother.
Burning rubber, baby.
Burning rubber.
Burning rubber, baby.
All right, and with that said here, folks, we are going to step aside. We're going to take another quick 2-tire change, little gas and go, and when we come back, we're going to have what would have been the iRacers download, but we're going to have a little bit more news of the week for everybody.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
I'm Captain Jeff Figures from Florida Fishing and Adventures. Do you want to constantly catch more fish, spend less time changing baits? If so, Monster 3X baits, jigs, and scents are the answer. Monster 3X baits are tough, durable, and resistant, which allows you to catch more fish per bait. The combination of the Monster 3X lure with the Pro Pure Baits Super Scent, you will be landing more fish right away. Whether it's the Monster 3X Ultra Soft or the X Swim lures, swim shad, paddle tails, crawfish, or the X Frog, Monster 3X, you'll always find it in my tackle box.
Burning Rubber Radio is social. Like the show at facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Follow on Twitter at twitter.com/BRR_PMN. And on Instagram at instagram.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Now back to more Burning Rubber.
And we are back on Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network, the Tan Talk Radio Network, wingding.tv here. And Andy,
Frontier country too, man.
Yeah, can't forget Frontier country.
Frontier country, Jersey Shore radio up there. Man, we can't forget
WTHU in Thurmont, Maryland, and
that's right.
Also, can't forget our wonderful folks down here in the Tampa Bay area, aside from the Tan Talk Radio Network, being Sunshine 96.7 and RadioSt.Pete.com.
That's right, man. That's home base, baby.
Yes, sir. Home base down in good old St. Petersburg, Florida. But I just went a little country there. What the heck was that?
Man, you and these things that you've been doing lately, I think I just need to slap the spit out of you, man. But anyway, we won't go there.
Yeah, we won't get into it, but either which way. So a little bit of news out of the NASCAR Xfinity Series world here, Andy. As we all know, Fast Pasta, he drives the number 78 for B.J. McLeod in the Xfinity Series, right?
That's Alfredo, right?
Yep, Anthony Alfredo. Yep. So he already pilots the number 78 for BJ in the Xfinity Series, but some news that just dropped today, that being Tuesday, March the 9th not today. Today's like March the 13th.
Today's 14th, bro.
Good Lord, where am I at?
Recording.
But either which way here, Anthony Alfredo has, it's been announced here where he's going to pilot the number 78 in 2 Cup Series events as well.
For Live Fast Motorsports?
For Live Fast Motorsports for B.J. McLeod, yep.
Yep, that's good stuff, man. Live Fast Motorsports, of course, they are just, 2 years old or so?
2, yeah, I want to say it's 2. This makes their 3rd season, so yeah, they're getting along real well here. And I'm trying to find out exactly what races it is that they say that Anthony's going to be racing here. No, they actually don't even.
The music.
Okay, here we go. It looks like he's going to be running the Toyota Owners 400 at Richmond on April 2nd, and the location of the second race is yet to be determined.
That must means they picked up some sponsorship money from somewhere. Good on B.J. McLeod, man.
Yeah, BJ's a good friend of the show too. We had him on back at Daytona last year, and between him and Keith, man, they are one of the few teams in NASCAR that actually enjoy having a little bit of airtime. Because of being the lower funded teams, often they don't get the exposure that they deserve.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm sure, if we called up this week, BJ be on the show next week. He's just that kind of guy. He's an awesome people.
Yep.
BJ McLeod, man. Did I tell you the time I was sitting down there at Sebring when I was calling the Hoosier Racing Tire SCCA Super Tour down in Sebring? I was eating, of course, at Sonny's. And this guy, I was wearing my Burning Rubber Radio. I'm wearing the Legacy one tonight, man. But Burning Rubber Radio T-shirt, and this older gentleman comes up and says, "Who are you guys?" And I'm like, "Good Lord, we're not on the air in Sebring." But he goes, "My son owns a racing team, and he's on your show." And I'm thinking, okay, who are we talking about? He goes, "Yeah, my son's BJ McLeod."
I remember
that.
Oh,
heck yeah, I know BJ, buddy.
I remember that story. Yeah, that was pretty cool to have BJ's dad run into you at Sebring.
That was so cool, man.
Well, that was like something that blew my mind. Now, folks that often I don't talk too much about my backstory when we're on the air here, but I work part time.
Don't talk about the jailhouse stuff, brother.
I said backstory, not back door.
Oh my gosh, we won't even go there.
But yeah, that's another joke for another day.
Gosh.
But I work with right now 1 day a week at a gas station, and it was kind of interesting this past weekend. What was it? Was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday night into Monday. Had multiple guys from race teams show up as they were landing back from Phoenix. I run into two guys from Richard Childress, one guy with Kyle Busch, one guy with Austin Dillon. I run into one of JT's brothers in arms over at Colleague. Has had one of the engineers from Penske show up. Man, it was a good old time. We were just sitting there cracking jokes and laughing about things and just talking motorsports. Man, it was great.
And my curiosity is, that any of them say, that they've heard of Burning Rubber Radio?
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone go, "Why are you here in the middle of the night working behind a cash register?"
They actually did not ask that question.
Because you're a good guy helping the manager out. That's what you are, man. But, oh my gosh, honestly, I've been spotted once or twice, of course, twice, excuse me, here in the Tampa Bay area. I work for Kansas City Police Department as a local agency in Pinellas County, and folks have been like, "Man, I've heard you before." Yeah, did I arrest you before? No, I've heard you before. Yeah, I wonder where.
Well, and that was like another run-in that I remember having with somebody else. She was like, "Wait a minute, your voice sounds awfully familiar. Are you on the radio somewhere?" I said, "Yeah, I'm on a show called Burning Rubber Radio." She's like, "I listen to you guys when I travel down the road all the time. My parents turn you on when we're on them long road trips." I'm like, "Well, okay then."
I love it, man. Someone other than the cat and the dog at the house are listening to us. That's pretty cool.
Well,
anyway, man.
I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, with that all said here, folks, it's a lot of fun for BJ McLeod to have Anthony Alfredo getting back into the NASCAR Cup Series. So some really, really good stuff for Fast Pasta there. And, of course, folks, don't forget, you can also follow Anthony in his iRacing ventures as well. If you go over to twitch.tv and search for, I believe it is Anthony Alfredo Racing. It used to be twitch.tv/Fast Pasta, but he's changed the name since. So I believe he just goes by Anthony Alfredo Racing now on Twitch. But either way, search for Anthony Alfredo, and I'm pretty sure you'll find him in his iRacing ventures there as well. And he gets into a lot of stuff on iRacing when he's not behind the wheel of an actual stock car.
He does, man. He gets out there and beats and bangs virtually. That's for sure. Hey, have you heard? I'm going to switch gears here a little bit.
Okay.
That Team Mercedes I guess 2 weeks ago at the Bahrain Grand Prix, they got beat to a pulp by Red Bull and everybody else out there. I just heard that they are making wholesale changes to the car. Everything that they're going back to the blackboard, chalkboard. They are taking a new car to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
So are we saying that Red Bull's taking a brand new car to Saudi Arabia, or Mercedes?
Not Mercedes.
Oh wow, okay. So yeah, that should be Mercedes was the one that whooped up on them. You would think it'd be you would think they'd be all right with the car they had.
No, gosh, no, man. They couldn't keep Red Bull in sight. Red Bull is favored to win at Saudi Arabia, and of course they're just Mercedes is They went the wrong way this year with the F1 setup.
Yeah, and I mean, changes come and go obviously throughout race teams throughout the year, but yeah, the opening run at the St. Petersburg, Bahrain. I'm thinking of IndyCar with St. Pete, but yeah, their opening run at Bahrain not one of their best. So I guess we'll have to see how the Saudi Arabia GP fares for them, and then we kind of go from there a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure. Anyway, I can't pronounce the guys' names that drive the cars over there, but doesn't matter. We're going to keep you guys all up to date on what happens with F1 too. And hey, another thing is they just got done running the bike week over at Daytona, the Daytona 200.
Yep.
And
American Flat Track too on top of that.
American Flat Track on top of that, man. I'm loving Flat Track coming back.
Yep, and Dallas Daniels, the number 32 Estenson Racing Yamaha MT-02 DT, kicked off his Progressive American Flat Track Championship campaign in near perfect style, Andy, completing the second half of the season opening doubleheader with another win in sensational fashion on Saturday. He didn't get the first win, but he got the second one.
Hey, you know what, folks, if I'm going to put something out there to the folks listening, go to the Burning Rubber Radio Facebook page or leave a message on there. Would you all like to hear us talk to some of these motorcycle guys, some of these flat track guys, and maybe some super bike stuff? If you'd like that, man, go over there and let us know, because we'll reach out and we'll start talking to some of these guys. I am actively reaching out to Eddie Lawson, legacy motorcycle racer from back in the day, Kenny Roberts, Kevin Schwantz. You know, these are all legacy guys on two wheels that I'm going to actually go out and try to bring to the show. But if you want more of that, let us know.
Very cool. Yeah, and then on top of that, we're also going to be working a little bit closer again with Mountain Creek Speedway again this year. I'm going to get a hold of my buddy Derek Pernissiglio over there and see what the racing schedule looks like so that we can start getting out there to some races and talk to some of those young up-and-comers in the industry. And who knows, we might run into Jeremy Mayfield again this year.
Yeah, Jeremy Mayfield. That's someone else we need to touch base with, man.
Yeah, we had him on for a couple minutes last year, and it was actually pretty cool to run into him at Mountain Creek and watch him turning wrenches and, getting those cars right for the young up-and-coming kids.
Yeah, I agree, and Jeremy has a good heart and a lot to give, no matter, I ain't talking about his NASCAR days, man. I don't even want to go into that.
No, those are way in the past.
Yeah, I'm talking about Jeremy Mayfield here and now is just great people.
He really, truthfully is, and Shayna, his wife, is also absolutely phenomenal too. She, honestly, I think she's the one that keeps him grounded, even though he may not say it often enough.
Oh man, she's good people.
Yeah, she is. But with that said, here, folks, we've got to step aside, take our final four and fuel of the show, and when we come back, we're going to get into some final news of the week, including some stuff from this past weekend in IMSA and getting our picks in for this coming weekend at Atlanta.
Yeah.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
I'm Captain Jeff Figures from Florida Fishing and Adventures. Do you want to constantly catch more fish, spend less time changing baits? If so, Monster 3X baits, jigs, and scents are the answer. Monster 3X baits are tough, durable, and resistant, which allows you to catch more fish per bait. The combination of the Monster 3X lure with the Procure Baits Super Scent, you will be landing more fish right away. Whether it's the Monster 3X Ultra Soft or the X Swim lures, swim shad, paddle tails, crawfish, or the X Frog. Monster 3X, you'll always find it in my tackle box.
I'm Andy DeLay, and you're listening to Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network.
We are the Performance Motorsports Network, and incredible sales opportunities exist. If you have a business in the motorsports industry, give our sales department a call, 717-749-0444, or send us an email. We'll have an account representative get in touch with you immediately to show how we can market your business to the motorsports community. You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Visit our website at burningrubberradio.com for recipes from the NASCAR chef, John Dix, and more great content. Now back to more Burning Rubber Radio.
And we are back on Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network, the Tan Talk Radio Network, and wingding.tv. And also can't forget our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Burning Rubber Radio. And Andy, it's already, that time of the show where we get into the last bit of news of the week here and get ready to talk about Atlanta coming up this weekend. West Coast Swing is all said and done for 2023, so now we get to come back to the eastern side of the country for a little while.
That's right. We get to go to Atlanta this weekend, the super speedway Atlanta. That's really not a super speedway, but man, that thing is fast.
Yeah, it is, especially with the repave before last season. It proved, the Gen 7 along with the repave really proved that anything and anything was possible when it comes to that racetrack, especially with the fact that Corey LaJoie almost had that win last year.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would have been the feel-good win of the year.
It would have.
A lot of folks jumping up and down saying Corey LaJoie's going to do it this week. Gong.
Well, I mean, hey, you never know. I mean, he's done better finishing wise in the first couple of races this season as compared to last season. So obviously they found something somewhere in the race car, because Corey is not lacking talent by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not at all. Dude, he's Inspire equipment, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's it. He can do it.
Yep, he definitely can do it, and I would not be surprised if we see him do something coming up this weekend here at Atlanta. But getting over to some other final news of the week before we jump into our picks for Atlanta, got to talk about the IMSA WeatherTech Series this past weekend here, Andy. And Chris Dyson gets himself the NOLA Trans Am. We'll cut the IMSA here in just a second. But Chris Dyson gets himself the NOLA Trans Am win and a 1-2 finish for CD Racing this past weekend in Avondale, Louisiana.
Okay, man, they're kicking it out. What track was that, NOLA?
Yeah, it was the NOLA track down there in Avondale, Louisiana. Yep.
All right, man. It's good to see. I didn't know Trans Am kicked off. I guess it's March, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Trans Am time.
Yep, yeah, it was the NOLA Motorsports Park, and this was the, the checkered flag in round 2. So this was actually the second race in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli this past weekend.
All right, man, good deal.
So some really good stuff there for the folks in the Trans Am Series here. And one last one that we can get to here is Garg. What was his first name here? Bijoy Garg had doubled up and got himself a win this past weekend in Sebring in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship.
Now, wasn't Justin Marks running that thing too?
You know what? I want to say, I think I heard that he was. I'm going to double check and see.
Yeah, I heard something about Justin Marks running in Sebring and then flying back out to Phoenix. And, man, that guy was just put some air miles on.
Yeah, he put some air miles on, and then of course we can't forget Lynn St. James. She also put some air miles on.
That's right.
This past weekend too.
Lynn St. James getting it done at Sebring, so that's good stuff. Now, was this the 12 hours of Sebring?
No, this one was not the 12 hours of Sebring. This one was just a doubleheader weekend.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, the 12 hours of Sebring, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't come up until I think it's like May or June.
Okay.
So we still got a little bit of time before the 12 hours at Sebring. But speaking of time, we are slowly running out of time here for the show this week, and we have got to get ourselves over to picks for the weekend.
For the Cup Series. Who's going to do it?
Yeah, who is going to do it? Andy, you have the first pick as per usual, my friend.
Here we go. I'm going to do that. Number 9 car has speed. I don't care who's behind the wheel. Josh Berry is going to get his first Cup Series win this weekend in the number 9.
You know what? It's a good pick because I mean, obviously we know Hendrick kind of got their hands slapped with that part.
The louvers.
The louvers, yeah. So we know they got their hands slapped a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see what happens this weekend coming up at Atlanta. Now, granted, I will go ahead and say this now. The rest of us, myself, John, Taylor, Zach, and Bobby Dale, all went the same way this weekend coming up here at Atlanta. It's literally like Wheel of Fortune popping up letters here where everybody thinks Corey LaJoie is going to not be the bridesmaid this year. He's going to actually go in and get that dub.
This is the first time that we've got 5 people picking the same driver. And I'm just the odd man out. And none of these guys are favorites. Honestly, Josh Berry's not a favorite to win, and surely Corey LaJoie isn't a favorite to win.
No, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised considering they're both underdogs. I would not be surprised if we see those two get hooked up and do something special this weekend.
Well, consider this, Wayne. Josh Berry finished 10th, got his first top 10 in the number 9 last week at Phoenix.
Yep.
There's speed there, buddy.
There is definitely speed there, and you know what? I read something the other day too. It'll be the last thing we get ready to talk about here before we get ready to head out for this week. I saw something that Dale Earnhardt Jr. had posted on Twitter, and he had said something of the fact that he had a dream about something. What was it? Was it Saturday or Sunday? I think it was, where he actually foresaw one of his junior motorsports drivers going to the Cup Series in 2024. He didn't name names, but I'm going to be honest with you. All things considered, I have a feeling if it's not Justin Allgaier, it's going to be Josh Berry.
It won't be Justin Allgaier. He's an Xfinity Series. That's what he's going to do forever. Well, Noah Gragson, he went.
Yep, he went.
Year.
The next one in succession. If it's not Allgaier, because the way the headline picture it had the picture of Allgaier's number 7 for junior motorsports.
He ain't going nowhere. He's been in the Xfinity Series since dirt.
No, I mean he's been around there for a while. But hey, you never know. He might eventually want to take the step up. Time will tell. But again, I would not be surprised if it is Josh Berry that makes a full-time move to the NASCAR Cup Series in 2024, because I mean you look at how dominant he was in the Cars Late Model Tour. You look at how dominant he was in literally 1.5 seasons in the Xfinity Series, and then you look at what he's done now in the Cup Series in just 2 races. Yeah, his first race he didn't do all that great. He still finished, but then literally 1 week later comes home in the top 10.
It wasn't because he couldn't. The reason he wasn't doing so great is he didn't know he was going to be in the car more than 1 week, and basically the orders were, don't wreck the car, just bring it home for owner's points. Last week they said, go get them, boys.
Yep. And he did just that, coming home with that top 10 finish. So some good stuff all the way around for our good buddy Josh Berry. But Andy, you know what, brother? It's hard to believe it's already that time where we have got to get out of here for another week of Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network, the Tan Talk Radio Network, and wingding.tv. And for everybody on the show here, John Dix, the NASCAR chef, Bobby Dale Earnhardt, Taylor Burris, Zachary Murtis, and Andy DeLay, my cohort right there. I am producer Wayne, and until next week, we love you guys. Burning Rubber, baby!
Burning Rubber, baby!
Burning Rubber Radio is a production of the Performance Motorsports Network in association with the White Lightning TV studios in Statesville, North Carolina. This week's episode was produced by Wayne Owens. Remember to visit burningrubberradio.com for news, recipes, and more great content. Burning Rubber Radio may also be downloaded from our podcast site, pmn2.com, or from Spotify, iTunes, or Google Podcasts. The opinions expressed on this show are those of the hosts and guests and do not reflect those of the Performance Motorsports Network or the Scorpion Radio Group. Any use of the accounts or descriptions contained in this broadcast must be with the express written permission of the Performance Motorsports Network or the Scorpion Radio Group.